I actually started in radio years ago. The first thing I did was call a high school basketball game. I knew a guy at a radio station, and he said, "I know nothing about sports, and you know a lot about sports, so come with me, be on the air, talk about basketball. I'll do all the radio stuff, and we'll have a good time doing it." And I did have a great time doing it, and look at me now.
Oh, a long time ago, about ninth grade, I decided I wanted to be in radio, buy records, you practice with the record player at home. I was a weird kid. But yeah, then I decided to go to college and major in communications. Decided I didn't like college all that much because I was taking a bunch of classes that had nothing to do with radio, so I went to a 9-month broadcasting school just so I'd have a piece of paper to show employers, and in '76 I got the first job in Seaford, Delaware, WSUX FM.
I got into radio when I was, 17. When I was a kid growing up, I knew I wanted to do radio. I listened to the radio, I loved radio. So when I left high school and went to college, my first semester, I found the campus radio station. I went and found the campus radio station and signed up to be on the radio, started taking classes. So I was 17 years old and 29 years now doing radio.
I got started in radio in the early 90s. I was DJing in nightclubs, and somebody who was doing radio came up to me and said, "Hey, how would you like to be on the radio?" I thought, well, I was playing music professionally at the time and DJing in nightclubs, so kind of a real job was intriguing to me. So I did that back in the real late 80s and early 90s.
I started my career in Pocomoke at Bay Country, 97.9. I was there for about 15 years. I then transitioned over to Joy 102.5, where I was the morning show host for about 3 years, and I've been to CTG now for a year and a half.
From SUX to WBOC, which at the time was WBOC AM and FM, which turned into WQHQ FM. So I went from QHQ-FM, I can't remember all this, QHQ-FM to Love 106 FM, then from Love 106 FM back to Q105. They took me back. From Q105, where'd I go next? I've been at a lot of radio stations, but basically all here on the shore. I've never left. Usually you go to radio, they say, work about 6 months, you pay your dues, you move to a bigger city, you make more money. I came down here, I didn't want to leave. Heck with the money, I just like the shore. But a lot of radio stations.
I've worked in Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Spent a number of years in Virginia, about 10 years in Pennsylvania, and then here on the shore, working in radio.
The first full-time gig I had was doing overnights and X107, which was an Ocean City modern rock station, and then I moved on to 93.5 The Beach in the late 90s. Then I ended up getting hired at 96 Rock in Salisbury, and I was in between Mancow in the morning and Don and Mike in the afternoon. I had a music show in between those two. No pressure there, two nationally syndicated programs. And then I spent many years at the Secrets radio station.
I'd known Greg for years with some different relationships through advertising and through radio. I knew he was a great guy, and I knew that he had the passion and just the itch for radio. He wanted to do radio the right way. When he became the operator at CTG, I kind of paid attention to what they were doing, and I really liked the product. I really liked the live and local component that Greg was bringing on board to CTG, and I wanted to be a part of it. So when the opportunity arose, I took it, and here we are.
Well, I got sick of waking up at 3:30 in the morning. I was doing a morning show before this, and Greg gave me a call, offered a midday show from 10 to 2. I figured, hey, that's better than waking up at 3:30 in the morning, so now I can sleep in until 7 o'clock if I want. But basically, that's it.
Well, I had friends that had been working here. I've been doing radio for a long time, and what brought me here was probably I was recording some commercials for a company. They were using my voice in some spots, And I was given the opportunity to say, hey, would you want to do mornings? And I've done radio on the morning for a long time. I've done morning radio for a long time. And so I decided to say, yeah, why not? It's a great place. It's local. A lot of fun we have here. So I decided to come on board and go to work for CTG.
You know, honestly, what brought me to CTG was a family camping trip to Tom's Cove in Chincoteague, and I was going through, and the station that I was listening to that was in the Chincoteague area was off the air for like the 20th time that day, and I got tired of it, so I went and found 96.5, and I listened to it, and I said, what in the world is this? This is amazing. There was some like 80s stuff going on, and I'm an 80s kid, and I just listened to it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to call them up and just see what's going on with that station because I'm very intrigued. And once I met the owner, I was just blown away by his knowledge of radio and his vision, what he wanted to do. I was in.
Wow, when I first started in radio, I remember cart machines. I remember reel-to-reel players. I remember getting commercials and actually having to splice the tapes on the reel-to-reel to make them work and banging in the cart machines. I remember turntables. And now all that's gone with automation, with software. Everything we do is on a computer, from our music to our production to our spots. And radio with, I guess you could use the word consolidation. I guess you could use the word genericizing, if that is such a word, but just kind of saturating the country with radio that is that's mass appeal for everyone, but you've really gotten away from the local dynamic and that local component. You know, knowing the guy that you sit next to church in is your favorite morning DJ, or knowing that the guy that you see at the high school football game is a personality that you hear on the radio, and that's gone around our country with the big stations and the clusters owning multiple stations in a market. You know, it's very consolidated. It's very generic. You'll go weeks without seeing people in the same building, and that's not how it is here at CTG. It's live people. It's friends and neighbors that you know, that you trust, that you know you're going to get good information from, and when you care about it, they probably care about it too.
Technology has changed, you know, from records to CDs to computerized digital files, but the rest is pretty much the same. You listen to the music, you enjoy the music, you turn the microphone on, you have fun. That has never changed, and you relate to the listener. Technology has changed. We haven't, really.
Probably technology is how radio's changed the most. When I first started at 17, I remember there being records and something that looked like 8-tracks, which were called carts. We didn't have computers at the time to do what we do with today, and I've seen technology change where in the studio it's all on the computer. Everything that we do is digital, and it's incredible. It's so much easier, and it's a lot of fun because I love the technology. I've loved watching it evolve and change.
The radio industry has changed over the years, mainly because it's become all computerized. You know, the sad part of radio today is what you're listening to is not really what's going on, except for here at CTG. Honestly, and I've worked at all the stations in the area, I can honestly tell you that if you hear a voice and you call the request line, no one's going to answer that phone line, unless you're calling us. Because we really are the only 24-hour live radio station left on Delmarva.
What I love about CTG is the live and local component. We have personalities, jocks here that have been in the market for 30 plus years, everybody from Skip Dixon to Mike Chaney to E.J. Fox, Rodney Bayless and Greg Fentress. All of us have extensive background in radio, and we all have the passion for it. And I think it comes across over the microphone when you open up that mic and you're excited about what you're doing. You enjoy your job every day and you're excited about the music you're playing. I think it comes across.
I don't really know, because the people get on my nerves so much. No, I'm just kidding, boss. No, basically, it's you get a lot of freedom here. There's no drama. A lot of radio stations, you know, you're always looking over your shoulder and everybody is, you know, complaining and moaning and griping about. You don't see that here. Everybody, you come in here, everybody is pretty much in a good mood. Everybody's happy. It all has to do with the atmosphere of the station. And that's good because we can take the good mood that we come in with and don't lose and put it on the air. So basically, it's just, as I said, no drama. There's no drama here. Just everybody working together, having a good time. Almost like college, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have left.
What I love the most about CTG is it's live and it's local. And some people may say, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of radio anymore is what I call canned radio, where it's not live. You don't have people that live in the community that are on the air and you can relate to what the weather is doing today, what song is playing. CTG is all about being live and local, involved in the festivals that happen, involved in local concerts. That is what I love about CTG. The music variety is phenomenal because it takes me back to when I was growing up, some of the music I grew up with. But I guess apart from the music, it's just the fact that we are plugged into the community. We are here each day. We are talking to you, the listener, whether it's over the phone, in person, and I love that about CTG.
I think that all of our staff is very relatable to the listeners. It comes back to being a part of your community. And we have, I know I'm very involved in church in my community, very involved in some local quasi-governmental agencies. And we are, you know, we're at the football games with you. We're at the bake sales with you. When your kids are marching in the parades, we're there with you. So we're definitely entrenched in the community, and we're glad to be a part of the community that we serve.
Basically, it all comes down to a one-on-one relationship. You open the microphone up, you picture one person. You can have anybody in your mind you want, but you're just talking in your mind to one person. And you don't use, at least I don't use words like, hi everyone, how you doing folks? It's all, how are you? You know, what's new in your life? It's just one-on-one. In my mind, and hopefully in the listener's mind as well.
I relate to the listeners here because they're probably along the same age range as I am. We grew up listening to some of the same music from late 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I think we relate because I'm doing the same things they are with my kids, their grandkids, with my kids going to school, a daughter going to college. It's very easy to relate because they're living the same life that I'm living and trying to get by, paying the bills, going to work each day, and so it's easy to relate to the listener.
Relating to a listener is, you know, for people who listen to the radio, you know, they hear us. We become a part of their day. We become a part of their life. We become a friend to them. So we have to always remember that what we're saying is we're talking to one person. I'm talking to you right now, but I'm on the radio. I'm talking to you. I will remember your face. I'll remember the things that you like, the teams that you like, the sports that you like, the music that you like, and I will always remember who you are, and I'll make sure that I'm talking to you one-on-one. It's a phone conversation with your buddy.
Well, the music is my wheelhouse. I was born in 1973, so I would definitely consider myself a child of the 80s. 1981, I was 8 years old, and I grew up with Michael Jackson. I grew up with Billy Joel and the great artists of the 80s, and you know, we experienced how our parents may have experienced the rock and roll revolution or the British invasion. We got to experience the music of the 80s, and then the transition from pop music into hip hop and what is now rap music. So really, CTG, with the variety of music that we play, it encompasses all of it. I can hear Tone Loc, I can hear the Beach Boys, I can hear great songs from the 80s and even new songs from today. So it's just a good mix, and it really fits anybody from 8 years old to 80 years old.
My passion for the music, I think, is because it takes me back to when I was maybe a child or a teenager, and it brings back such good memories for me. As we'll be playing a song, I'll find myself singing along. It'll take me back to that moment, whether I was at home or driving in my first car. it brings me back. It's the memories that the music takes me to. I love that.
Oh, my passion for music goes from, for me, rock, I've been doing rock radio for over 20 years. So there's nothing that's really going to surprise me with rock radio. But when you mix it together with the mix that we have, I play Rick James, and then I play Metallica, and then I play, Hot Chocolate, You Sexy Thing, right into, a Pearl Jam song. It just, it feels to me like an iPod of just great music put together. It's upbeat, it's fun, it doesn't bring you down, doesn't feel like it's raining on your radio, it feels like the sun is out, and we are the mortar between the bricks, the DJs. What we do is to keep you going, keep you happy, let you have some fun, let you know what's going on in the area, but at the same time, keep that music flowing right through, get you through your day.
There's always something going on here at CTG. That's the fun of it. It really makes our jobs a lot of fun. Everything from giving away cash on the radio to cruise promotions. We got a lot of big things coming up in 2017 that we're really excited about. We're always thinking about what can we do to make something bigger and better than we did it last year. From covering the pony swim on Chincoteague in a mobile studio that's 50 feet up in the air, to being involved in all the local parades and going to events like Punkin' Chunkin' and great things in Ocean City. We try to be everywhere. We try to serve all of the communities, and we have a great time doing it.
Contests and promotions we do. My God, it seems like every week station personnel out somewhere doing something. So if I started giving you a list right now, we'll probably never end. But it's always fun for everybody involved. Crowds come out. And like we'd all like to say, they come out to see us. But you give away freebies and stuff. And they come out to hear the music. And of course, it's a win-win for everybody involved, because if it's a client, an advertiser remote broadcast, they win, we win. We get to speak to more of our listeners one-on-one in a personal live atmosphere, and the client wins as well, because more people are coming in. And if we're just at a community event, those are always fun, because you never know what's going to happen there. And we take out games and stuff like that. It's just a laid-back, good time for everybody involved.
CTG has some incredible promotions. It's been a lot of fun since I came to work for CTG, because again, these are not national promotions, these are local promotions. We've partnered and given away a cruise before. We've given away cash before, and it's prizes that people right here on Delmarva are winning. These aren't like a national contest where people in California are winning. No, these are people right here on Delmarva, and I love that. I love that CTG focuses on being involved in our community, to reaching out to people like you who can win these prizes. And I love playing contests and giving things away.
Promotions and contests are a big part of radio, especially live FM radio. We have to compete with XM, satellite, Sirius. So we have to do everything we possibly can. And a lot of stations that are now downsizing and the more they're getting one person to run the entire radio station, they have no ability to do all that we can do, because we are fully staffed with live DJs who can go out. I spent a weekend at NASCAR broadcasting for the radio station. I spent a weekend at the Punkin' Chunkin' or the Oyster Festival. But it's not just me. There's 7 other guys and girls that could do it from our radio station and go out. We have a 12 bands Christmas show coming up. We can all be there for it, and it's more of a presence. Contest on radio. If you hear someone say text this, or if you hear someone say text this word to this number, that's because the whole entire country is texting that number. If you hear us say call us in now for winning a pair of tickets, you're calling your radio station, and you will win those tickets.
A lot of it goes to what I was saying before about the work atmosphere, but we have a little more free. Early radio, you had more freedom. If a listener called in, wanted to hear a particular song, hey, not a problem. You break it out and you play it. But then radio got to the point where when everything got computerized, pretty much choice was taken out. of radio and the music list. You pretty much had to play what was on the screen in that order, no matter what. But here, you can deviate. I mean, somebody calls and asks for a Nickelback tune. Somebody wants to hear something from the early 80s or something current. I can play it if I want, and no, I'm not going to get in any trouble for it, because it's all about relating to the listener, okay? A lot of the other radio stations, for some reason, they'll take the listener out of the equation, not realizing that's the customer. You know? You got to take care of the customer. You got to give them what they want on the air.
What sets CTG apart from other stations is the fact that we're live. There are people that live right here in the community that are on the air with you. We're local, we're involved, we're showing up at the local football games, we're showing up at the local fall festivals, the events that are happening, the parades, and that's what sets us apart. A lot of the stations don't have that local touch. It just seems they play the music. It could be coming from satellite that they're providing. Maybe they have one or two people. CTG is full of great people that are local, involved in the community, involved in our churches, our schools, our community. And that, to me, is what sets us apart. Plus, the group of people that I work with, incredible professional people, great people who've got a lot of love for radio and do a phenomenal job here.
Oh, there's a lot of things that set CTG apart from other stations in the area and nationally, not just the area. I mean, I have a lot of friends who do radio all over the country, and when I tell them what we're doing promotionally, musically, staff-wise, they are all amazed that this kind of radio still exists in America. You know, there's a lot of talk radio stations that do have live bodies and they do events and things like that, but a music-oriented radio station that's doing all that we're doing in a little bit of time that it's been on the air just is amazing. It really is.